Hey guys, today this is a new series that I'm starting. We're going to keep reading the Bible. This is the Catholic Answer Bible that I have, and I'm going to try and understand what the Bible says. So, let's get into it. Let's go with the first chapter, Genesis. Genesis chapter 1. First story of creation. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless wasteland, and darkness covered the abyss, while mighty winds swept over the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw how good the light was. Then God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Thus evening came and morning followed, the first day. Then God said, "Let there be a dome over the water. Let there be a dome in the middle of the waters, to separate one body of water from the other." And so it happened. God made the dome, and it separated the water above the dome from the water below it. God called the dome the sky. Evening came, and morning followed, the second day. Then God said, "Let the water under the dome be gathered into a single basin." Let the water under the sky be gathered into a single basin, so that the dry land may appear. And so it happened. The water under the sky was gathered into its basin, and dry land appeared. God called the dry land the earth, and the basin of water he called the sea. God saw how good it was. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth vegetation, every kind of plant that bears seed, every kind of fruit on the tree that the earth bears, every kind of fruit tree on earth that bears fruit with its seed in it." And so it happened. The earth brought forth every kind of plant that bears seed, and every kind of fruit tree on earth that bears fruit with its seed in it. God saw how good it was. Evening came, morning followed, the third day. Then God said, "Let there be light in the dome of the sky to separate day from night. Let them mark the fixed times, the days, and the years, and serve as luminaries in the dome of the sky, to shed light upon the earth." And so it happened. God made the two great lights, the greater one to govern the day, and the lesser one to govern the night. And he made the stars. God set them in the dome of the sky to shed light upon the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. God saw how good it was. Evening came, morning followed, the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the water teem with abundance of living creatures, and on the earth let birds fly beneath the dome of the sky." And so it happened. God created the great sea monsters and all kinds of swimming creatures with which the water teems, and all kinds of winged birds. God saw how good it was, and God blessed them, saying, "Be fertile, multiply, and fill the waters of the sea, and let the birds multiply on the earth." Evening came, morning followed, the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth all kinds of living creatures, cattle, creeping things, wild animals of all kinds." And so it happened. God made all kinds of wild animals, all kinds of cattle, all kinds of creeping things of the earth. God saw how good it was. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image and likeness, Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, and the cattle, and over all wild animals and all creatures that crawl on the ground. God created man in his image. In the divine image, he created him. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them, saying, be fertile and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and all the living things that move on the earth. God also said, see, I give you every seed bearing plant all over the earth, and every tree that has seed bearing fruit on it to be your food. And all the animals of the land, all the birds of the air, and all the living creatures that crawl on the ground. I give you all the green plants for food. And so it happened. God looked at everything he made, and he found it very good. He came, evening came, morning followed the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth and all array were complete. Thus the heavens and the earth and all their array were complete. Since on the seventh day God was finished with the work he had been doing, he rested on the seventh day from all the work he had undertaken. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because in it he rested from all the work he had done in creation. Such is the story of the heavens and the earth and their creation. Now, the second story of creation. At the time when God made the heavens, at the time when God made the earth and the heavens, while as yet there was no field, while as yet there was no field shrub on earth, and no grass of the field had sprouted, for God had sent no rain upon the earth, and there was no man to till the soil. But a stream was welling up out of the earth, and was watering the surface of the ground. Then Lord formed a man out of the clay of the ground, and blew into his nostrils the breath of life. So man became a living being. Then God said, then the Lord planted a garden in Eden in the east, and he placed there man, whom he had formed out of the ground. Out of the ground the Lord made various trees to grow that were delightful to look at and good for food, with the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and bad. A river rises in Eden to water the garden. Beyond there it divides and becomes four branches. The name of the first is the Fishon. Pishon. It is the one that winds through the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is excellent. Bdellium and lapis. Bdellium and lapis lazuli are also there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It is the one that winds all through the land of Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. It is the one that flows east of Ashur. The fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord then took man and settled him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and care for it. The Lord gave man this order: you are free to eat from any of the fruit you are free to eat from any of the trees of the garden, except the tree of knowledge of good and bad. From that tree you shall not eat. The moment you eat from it, you are surely doomed to die. The Lord said, It is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a suitable part. I will make a suitable partner for him. So the Lord formed out of the ground various animals and various birds out of the sky, out of the air. He brought them He brought them to man to see what he would call them. Whatever the man called each one of them would be its name. The man gave the names to all the cattle, all the birds of the air, and all the wild animals. But none proved to be a suitable partner for man. So God cast a deep sleep on the man, and while he was asleep, he took out one of his ribs and closed up its space with flesh. The Lord then built the Lord then built up into a woman the rib that he had taken from man. When he brought her to man, the man said, "This one, at last, is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This shall be called woman, for out of her man this one has been taken." That is why a man leaves his father and mother and clings to his wife, and the two of them become one body. Then the man and his wife were both naked; they felt no shame. So we have finished two chapters. Now let's go back and see what is our learning from this. The first story of creation literally states that God has made everything that we see today. Literally everything. His infinite wisdom guides us. Everything that we see today. All the trees, the rain, everything. Even the diseases. Second, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image and after our likeness." It's plural. Why would it be plural? Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. It says, "Us, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish and sea." Here the them is the man. But why would this be plural? It says the Trinity. After our image. In our image, after our likeness. Our image over here refers to the image of Jesus. Because other than him, there is no other image that God can make man in. There is no other blueprint. Jesus is that mold. Jesus is that image after which we are crafted. We are made after God in His image. God our Father is just a spirit. He has no form. We'll come to that once He meets Abraham. There is one thing over there. So this is quite interesting over here. Jesus is mentioned over here when they say our image after our likeness. Coming to chapter 2, since the earth was formed already by the sixth day, God rested on the seventh day. This is why we have we follow this. We keep the seventh day as a day of rest. It's called the Sabbath. Yes, and we literally have to keep rest on that day, but not to a point that it completely overpowers everything that we are doing. Rest is important, but on this day of rest, you have to give praise to God. It's not like you just keep sleeping that day and not give praise to God, because this day for us, it means that we have to give praise to God, that He created us, and just start loving Him the whole day, have a connection with Him. This is why this day exists. Genesis chapter 2, it talks about the formation of man and how he got dominion over earth. So there's this verse over here, chapter 2:24. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and clings to his wife, and the two of them become one body. Here there's this nice quote where man says, 23, verse 23, "This one at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, for out of her man this one has been taken." This is interesting. So, for out of her man this one has been taken. This literally states that every woman and every man have a suitable partner that is destined for them by God. So, every woman that is formed has a destined man, and every man that is formed has a woman that is destined for him by God. Out of her man, this one has been taken. So, this is for all of those who have problems getting married, can't find anyone. This is your confirmation that God has actually planned something for you, and you just got to trust in Him. Pray that whatever He has decided, whatever He has planned for you, comes into your life at the right time, because it's God's timing. If it has not happened, the right time will come, and cherish it. But keep praying. That's it for this video.